power of habitual health. How can we unlock our wellness with simple shifts in our habits? Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Bibi. Every week, we prepare amazing content with the Global HR Summit team on functional health and wellness. And today, we will be talking about habits. So let's start. So, speaking of healthy habits in functional nutrition. So, of course, we have to start with the nutrients, right? Nutrient rich choices. How can we increase our nutrients in our daily life and how can we make it into a habit? When you look at your meal, can you increase the nutrient content of each meal? Do you need to add more proteins, more fats to it? Do you have too much carbs? Maybe you should be lowering your carbs. Maybe you should be adding more complex carbs and removing the simple carbs. If you want to have maybe like more beans and take out the bread and pasta, there are so many things that you can do here, right? And variety of micronutrients too. When you have variety of meals, rotate your meals, not having the same thing for the 3 or 4 days. Having in that way, having variety of vitamins, minerals, plant nutrients, because each vegetable or each food you will be having will be bringing different vitamins, minerals, and plant nutrients. Also, adding fiber, nuts, and seeds to your meals. Can you maybe have more ground flax seeds in your meals? Can you again have more whole grains as your carbs of choice, so you can have more fibers? In terms of seeds, you can do sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds. There's a variety of seeds that you can add. Healthy oils. Can you drizzle your salads with more olive oil? Can you add half an avocado or some coconut oil to your everyday life? Or again, you can have some flaxseed oil. You can have some tahini. Of course, like those recommendations are should be customized for everybody. Not everybody would be adding the same amount of fats. You may not have your gallbladder. You might need more enzymes. You might not be digesting the proteins properly. You might have kidney issues. So these recommendations should definitely be personalized. But I think one thing we can all do together is more colorful plates. We can have more colors on our plates. When you look at your plates, do you feel like you have enough reds and greens and yellows and orange and blues and whites? Make sure that you have variety of colors on your plate, almost like an art form, because each color have the plant nutrient, phytonutrients that brings variety of benefits for your mental health, for your neurological health, for your vascular health, for your immune health, for your digestive health. So make sure that your plates are as colorful as possible. Another healthy habit that you can start right away is mindful eating and mindful portions. I would like to highlight here that I'm not going to mention portion control, because portion control implies the control is coming from outside, where I want the control to be intrinsic. I want the control to be in you, not giving the control to someone else. Because if you're mindful, if you focus on your meal, you avoid the mindless overeating and you eat only what and how much your body needs. If your body craves for something crunchy, and if you go for carrots and hummus, and if you're mindful about what you're eating, you're not preparing presentation and you're not finishing the whole bowl of hummus and carrots. When you're focusing on what you're eating, your body will tell you when it's full. So you got to listen to the cues when to eat and when to stop. When you're hungry, if you avoid the hunger cue and if you do not eat, then that cue will turn into a cry. Your body will be craving things. Or at one point, your blood sugar might go so low that you might feel like, oh my goodness, I need to eat something like high in carb or high in sugar to balance my blood sugar. But you actually listen to the cue early on to eat, then you will be managing it much better. You will be managing your blood sugar much better. Again, if you listen to the cues to when to stop. So if you feel like, okay, like, I gotta stop, I'm done eating with that food, that salad, that dish. And if you do not overeat, then you would avoid feeling bloated in the end, or having a stomach ache in the end, or feeling really heavy and weighted down at the end of the meal. To do that, I recommend to chew slowly and savoring every bite, and as much as possible, eliminate the distractions and creating a calm and relaxed environment while eating. Maybe, like, if you're working and eating at the same time, how about you finish your work and then dedicate 15 minutes or 20 minutes of eating time right after your work. If you're in a work environment, how about you skip the working luncheons and then maybe, like, go into a connection lunch when you, like, talk with people, maybe like enjoy the connections, be with your team, maybe, like, have a team meeting, not only to discuss the issues but just to connect with the team while you're eating. And then, like, after the lunchtime, maybe you can move on to the meeting time. Another healthy habit that you can do is moving your body. I recommend daily exercise, especially for the mental well being. Of course, physical well being is impacted by the exercise. However, mental well being is much more so than the physical one. If somebody comes to me with anxiety, depression, I definitely recommend moving and exercise. If there's a patient who has inflammatory based condition, definitely exercise and movement after the nutritional changes. And I recommend to mix the aerobic strength and flexibility training into your routine if you have an exercise routine. Don't just run. Don't just do weight training. Have a variety of trainings to benefit your body and mind the most. And if you're new to exercising, or if you never exercise, start slow, like 15 minutes walk. I have patients who started with 15-minute walks in front of their screen at YouTube, who have went down to, like, 1 hour walks outside with, like, with some runs in between, then more strength training in the gym. So if you start slow, you can gradually build up. If you have never run, and if you really, really want to do it at one point in your life, but you don't know where to start with 30-second runs in between your walks, or start with 1 minute runs if you can do. Run at a lower speed in the beginning and then increase the speed, increase the duration. Give your body some time to adjust to that. As with everything, being mindful works in exercise too. Be mindful to the cues of where to exercise and when to stop exercise, when to increase the dose and when to like maybe lower the dose. But be careful. Like sometimes stretching yourself is good, and don't just like stop just because you're feeling tired. Sometimes you need to push through this tiredness to get to the next level. But sometimes if you're over exercising, you also need to listen to the body to stop there or to notch down the intensity a little bit. And when we talk about exercise, I'm going to talk about the micro exercise as well, which is the daily movements, and not one movement a day, maybe like couple and more than couple, 10, 15 times a day movements, getting up and maybe jumping for 1 minute or 2 minutes, or maybe dancing to a song, or getting outside and walking for 15 minutes in between the meetings. Or these are all micro exercises and they help tremendously. You cannot just macro exercise and go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week and then don't do any movements in between. To be optimally healthy, you need to do micro exercises throughout the day as well. If you're going to the gym, I usually recommend not more than 4 to 5 times a week. So you have more resting periods in between the days. If you actually over exercise, that can create more oxidative stress on top of what you might be experiencing for other health issues. Also, after the exercise, make sure to hydrate during the exercise as well. After the exercise, having some protein rich meal or healthy and clean protein shakes or drinks after the exercise would be good. Also, evaluate your body. Are you having any cramps? Are you feeling any tightness in the body? That might be an indication that you might be needing more magnesium. You might add in a banana, or you might be adding some magnesium supplements like magnesium glycinate. Always work with a nutritionist to find the correct type and correct dosing for yourself, of course. But you might consider adding those if your body is feeling too tight after the exercise. Another thing that you can do is actually putting Epsom salts, having a bath after exercise with Epsom salts. These have magnesium inside, and your skin will be absorbing those magnesium, and that will be super helpful for the cramps. Another healthy habit is water. Water is considered as nature's elixir. Daily fluid intake varies between men and women, and depending on how sedentary you are or how active you are, the temperature of the environment you're in, the activity levels, but it's somewhere around 11.5 cups for women to 15.5 cups for men. You should be hydrating to have optimal blood flow and pressure. So if you have blood pressure problems, drink more water. Again, proper digestion and delivery of nutrients. Blood is delivering all the nutrients, all the absorbed nutrients to each cell you have. So we need a flowing blood, freely flowing blood to deliver all the nutrients to the cells. So you need to drink more water. Again, proper hydration is needed for proper detoxification, elimination of the toxins, and good circulation. If you have any vascular issues, if you have any vein issues, you really need to drink more water. You can mark your bottle to track the intake. You can write down on your bottle how much water that you have drank, or you can put elastic bands or hair clips, hair elastic bands on your bottle. You can start the day maybe with 4 to 5 bands on top of your water bottle. And every time you finish one bottle, you take out one elastic band. So that is how you track your water intake. That's actually a recommendation for one of my awesome patients. She was using those hair bands, and she was moving the hairband to her wrist every time she finished one bottle. Add in electrolytes. We need electrolytes for water to properly get into our cells, but you don't have to go for electrolyte drinks. You can go for nature's electrolyte, coconut water, or you can add a little bit of lemon, honey, and sea salt to your water. You can dissolve a little bit of sea salt into your water, add honey and top it off with a little bit of lemon juice and more water, and that will be giving you enough electrolytes for the water to get into your cells properly. Another healthy habit is meal planning. I call it preparing for success because meal planning saves time, saves money, encourages healthier choices. And when you meal plan, you actually plan the weekly menu, and then you actually have a grocery list to avoid over shopping and unhealthy choices. You can do the batch cooking. You can prepare for 3 to 4 days, or maybe you can cook for the whole week, depending on the type of the meal. Or you can have your plans ready, so you know what to order or what to eat for lunch and dinner. You can also have your snacks, veggies, salads prepared and ready to eat when you meal plan. One thing about meal planning is using healthy storage for prepped meals, like the glass jars. You can prepare everything in the glass cups, or you can use the jars to prepare your salads as well. Another healthy habit is just focusing on the smart snacks. You can have nutrient rich snacks throughout the day to optimize the energy and to avoid the 3 p.m. slump. Nuts are great choices there. Almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts, pistachios. There's like a variety of nuts. Seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds. They have great oils for lasting energy. They also have lots of plant nutrients, and vitamins and minerals as well. Protein rich snacks like yogurts, hummus, yogurt based dips are great. And when you swap crackers, which when you swap crackers with veggie sticks like bell peppers, carrots, celery sticks, along with maybe hummus or a yogurt based dip, that will give you lasting energy before you maybe reach out for the coffee at 3 p.m. Another thing that you can do is chia seeds. You can add chia seeds to your drinks, to your water to boost your energy. Again, with everything, everyone is different. So each of the foods mentioned here work differently for your body. It may work for you, it may not work for you. So make sure to check back with you if you have health conditions. Check back with your doctor to make sure that you can consume those foods without any issues. Again, chia seeds are great. You can actually fill your maybe glass water bottle with a little bit of tart cherry juice, unsweetened tart cherry juice, and then top it off with water, and if you like, some ice, and then add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to that drink. And you can actually prepare your drink like that for a couple days, and you will see that chia seeds swell in water, and they look like really nice and fun when you're drinking. It will actually make you feel a little bit of fuller as well, and that's going to boost your energy significantly. Try the chia water. You will see the significant energy boost throughout the day. That could be your 3 p.m. drink as well, right? And if you have your healthy options nearby, when you open the fridge, when you open your drawer, when you open your bag, if you have those like, snacks in Ziplocs or in the cups or in the jars, then you avoid mindless and unneeded snacking by having those healthy choices nearby. Another healthy habit that you can do is the power of rest. I cannot mention enough the quality of sleep. It's important for physical and mental well being. And I always recommend to track your sleep. You can use an app, sleep tracking app, or you can use one of those wearables, or like, rings and watches. For the app, I really like the Sleep Cycle app, but there's variety of apps. Find the app that tracks your sleep so you can understand what is your sleep quality and how you can improve the sleep quality. Sleep hygiene is very important as well. Pre-sleep daylight exposure, 1 hour sunlight exposure throughout the day increases your melatonin at night. Having a balanced dinner, not high in carbs, but good enough, good amount of proteins, fats, and fiber. Maybe like, if you have carbs, having some complex carbs or carbs that has more fiber, like sweet potatoes could be a good example for that. That's gonna ensure you have healthy cortisol and melatonin levels all throughout the night. Again, balance melatonin levels with the lowered blue light exposure. I recommend not using any electronic 2 to 3 hours before sleep. If it's not possible, at least 1 hour before sleep. It is still, if it's still not possible, at least use the blue light blocker glasses. The ideal one is using the blue light blocker glasses all throughout the night and stopping the electronics sometime before bed. Optimal sleep environment, it should be a cool environment, not too warm. You can actually leave the windows open if you prefer to, if the weather is cool. No light is the recommendation. Make sure to unplug any lights around. It could be the charging lights, it could be the TV light. Also, no distractions in terms of sound as well. If your phone has notifications enabled, then you might be hearing the buzzing all throughout the night, and that could lower your quality of sleep. Some experts recommend leaving the phones outside. I usually recommend leaving on the airplane mode, and making sure that it's also on the do not disturb mode so you don't get any notifications throughout the night. Wake up gently at light sleep intervals is another thing that you can do. Some apps like Sleep Cycle has that function where you can set up a half an hour break where you could be woken up by the app's alarm where your sleep is the lightest. So try something like that and see how it adds to your sleep quality and sleep hygiene. Another healthy habit is finding balance by managing stress. We had a whole section on managing stress. If you haven't watched that, make sure to go back and watch that. Stress management is so important because we cannot control the stressors most of the time, but we can control how we manage stress. Breathing is one of the tools to use to manage stress. Meditation is another great tool. You can do as short as 5-minute meditation during your day to manage the stress and to find your calm moment. Yoga is a great practice that you can incorporate in your daily life. You can start your day with yoga, you can end your day with yoga. EFT or tapping, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, is a great tool that you can use multiple times throughout the day. It's so simple. I highly recommend reading the book, The Tapping Solution by Nick Ortner. It gives you so much needed information to go through the day with lowered stress and with higher resilience. Spending time in nature is another healthy habit that you can start to do right away. If you have maybe some trees nearby, or if you have a forest nearby, you can spend more time in nature. Another thing that you can do is grounding. So many benefits of grounding in literature as well. Grounding is simply standing on the ground with barefoot, no socks, no shoes. Just go on the grass or on the soil with your bare feet. That is gonna help to transfer the electrons where your body will be feeling calmer. Your blood pressure would be normalized with regularly doing that. Your stress level will be reduced. 15 minutes of grounding daily. You can actually sit on the ground, you can sit on a chair, your feet on the ground, you can do some activity. You can actually spend some time under the sun for 15 minutes or 30 minutes doing that grounding activity, and maybe reading a book, doing some meditation. And that's going to be beneficial on so many levels. That's going to give you vitamin D, that's going to maintain your melatonin levels for a night, that's going to help to lower the stress with grounding and make you feel connected overall and feel better. And strengthen connection. Social support is absolutely needed to maintain healthy habits. So I would recommend you to find your support group. And the power of network, use the power of network. When you connect with like-minded people to achieve your wellness goals, you get the encouragement, you get the accountability, and you get the motivation. And it's an amazing connection to find that tribe of yours, like-minded people around you. So I like those nuggets of action nuggets at the end of each presentation. So how can you empower wellness through habits right away? You can actually decide on what habits you'd like to add to your life for your health and wellness goals. Maybe make a list of all the habits based on the habits that we discussed here as you're listening to this presentation. And then start small. Choose one habit. Don't worry, we're not going to let go of the other habits. We're just going to start with one habit and move from there. This one habit will be with you for the next 3 weeks. So be consistent. It takes 21 days to make it lasting. Make it daily. Whatever habit that you're choosing, make an effort to do that habit daily. And I highly recommend to monitor your progress. You can have a journal, you can do online journaling, or you can have a healthy living journal, wellness journal that you can keep in your bag, and you can write down what worked for you. How did you feel? Would you want to do something differently? What works for you, or what stops you sometimes, or what brings you challenge when you're trying to introduce new healthy habits? That's going to give you the guidance for the next habits that you choose and that you want to incorporate in your life. And that's going to also motivate you when you look back on how you can go forward. And if you note down how good you feel when you keep with that habit, you would want to go back later on, maybe like, when you fall off the wagon, you can just like, have a look at your journal and you can remember how good it felt to have that habit, and you can go back to that. And also start creating your support network, your family, friends, colleagues, the professionals you would want to work with. Start to compile all those people in your life and start to make a list of the people that you want to work with to create your ultimate and like optimal wellness. So, with Global HR Summit team, we create functional health and wellness videos and share those with you. And we want to add your health and wellness, and we would love to see you at the Global HR Summit in Istanbul on June 5th and 6th. So, until then, stay functionally well.